Oh, wait, I might have went past it. No, I did not. I just didn't see the art yesterday. Oh, yeah, okay. Just kidding. We did that yesterday. Ah, okay. Okay. Hi. Hello. It's time for me to read out loud. I am going to say, I don't know how, like, it's like in the other story, and then something happened. Lying's good. You know, enabling nonsense is good. What happened? Right? So I don't know how these stories are going to go. I don't know where we're going with this. I say that as the next title of the song, or the song, the story, to me is a little problematic. Okay. Shiomani, Kyuturiki. Kyuturiki. Duriki. The Taming of the Mother-in-Law. Problematic, isn't it? Okay. Shiomani, a mother-in-law. Oh, sorry, the vocabulary. Shiomani, a mother-in-law. Duriki. Diriki. The Taming. That was Cade knocking on the door. I'm not letting him out. He'll distract me. Let's see here. Guiro para, to harass. Paruda, to be fast. Nurira, to be slow. Nyo nuri. Oh. Nyo nuri. A daughter-in-law. Opchiruda. Opchiruda, to spill. Nope, just kidding. Malbot Rushi. Naputa. To have a foul mouth. Wow. No. Oh, it's because it's not an M. Oh, I said that. Malbo Rushi. Naputa. I don't know. Okay. Kita ryotanen. You know, you guys. Okay. Kita ryotanen. Dishi. Like one was waiting for. Olkusek Hanpon Bakuchi. You know, I'm not going to read the vocabulary. They're not actually, like, I used to start doing that because, you know, what's the word? Like vocabulary that's useful. These are like phrases that I don't know that I would consider them to be useful. So here we go. You ready for this story? Don't know how it's going to go. It doesn't sound very nice. Okay. Yetnare. Achu 성격이 나쁜 시어머니가 있었습니다. 얼마나 성격이 나쁘냐면 그 시어머니가 며느리를 yeah, okay, anyway. 귀롭하지 않으면 남들이 생각할 만큼 성격이 나빴습니다. 심지어 아무 이유도 없이 며느리를 Why does that seem so hard for me? 며느리를 귀롭혔습니다. 빨리, you guys, I don't feel like doing this. Is this weird? I'm sorry. Thank you for coming to pay attention to me. I'll read the story in English. honest moment right now. I don't feel like stumbling around in trying to read this. Hi. Okay, Priscilla, don't give up. We can do this. It's just 2 more days. Let's go. Okay, we were at 심지어 아무 이유도 없이 며느리를 괴롭혔습니다. 빨리 걸으며 빨리 걷는다고 느리게 걸으면 느리게 걷는다. 그 화를 내고 밥을 할 때 밥을 많이 하면 이 밥을 누가 다 먹냐고 밥을 조금 하면 이 밥으로 어떻게 온 식구가 다 먹냐고 화를 냈습니다. 그래서 이 집에 아들은 딱 한 명인데 벌써 며느리가 3번이나 바뀌었습니다. 첫 번째, 며느리는 시어머니 앞에서 방귀 뀌었다고 진창에 보내고, 두 번째, 며느리는 밥 생길 날에다가 엎치렀다고 진청에 보내고, 세 번째, 며느리는 화를 낼 일이 없으니까 말버릇이 나부라고 친정에 보내버렸습니다. 이렇게 며느리를 셋시키나 쫓아내고 나니까 아들이 정말 잘생기고 집도 부자인데도 아무도 이 집 아이들과 결혼하려고 하지 않았습니다. 그런데 이 동네에 사는 한 처녀가 그 집 아이들과 결혼하고 싶다고 했습니다. 처녀의 부모님은 그 집 시어머니 소문을 듣고 처녀를 말렸습니다. 그 집에 시집 가서 3달을 넘긴 며느리가 없다. I've never heard the word daughter-in-law before, so I feel like I'm not saying it right. I'm gonna move on. 그런데도 그 남자와 결혼하고 싶니? 잘생기고 돈 많은 게 다가 아니야. 처녀는 부모님의 말을 듣더니 생글 웃으며 말했습니다. 저한테도 다 생각이 있어요. 걱정 마세요. 처녀의 부모님은 걱정이 많이 되었지만 처녀를 믿고 그 남자와 결혼을 시켰습니다. 시어머니는 3번째 며느리를 쫓아내고 나서는 며느리를 괴롭하지 못해서 마침 심심 심심했 심심했는데 세면은 세며느리가 들어오니 기다렸다나 기다렸나 기다렸다니는 sorry that butchered that 듯이 귀롭히지 시작했습니다. 그래도 새 며느리는 I hope my phone doesn't start acting weird. Hold on. Oh gosh, this is lasting too long. I'm so sorry, guys. 1 second. Let me just drop this and then put this out of the sun. Thank you for being patient with me. Okay, that way it's not in the sun and doesn't mess up. All right. Oh man. Okay. 시어머니는 I think I did that already. I was right here. 새 며느리가 들어오니 okay, I did that already. 그래도 새 며느리는 얼굴색 한번 바꾸지 않고 시어머니의 말을 잘 따랐습니다. 어제그는 없는 일로 혼을 내러 잘못했습니다. 라고 하면서 시어머니가 때리면 맞고 혼내면 혼났습니다. 시아버지는 the father-in-law 시아버지는 그런 며느리를 보기가 힘들었습니다. 얘야, 너희 시어머니가 너무 힘들게 하지 않니? 그냥 진정으로 돌아가는 게 어때? 시아버지가 걱정하며 말했습니다. 며느리는 생글생글 웃으며 대답했습니다. 어머님께서 제가 무엇을 잘못했는지 알려주시는 줬는데 저는 괜찮습니다. 새 며느리가 이렇게 말한 것이 소문이 나서 온 동네 사람들이 저렇게 Is that one? That has to be separate. Okay. 얌전하고 착한 며느리는 또 없을 거라고 칭찬을 했습니다. 그러다가 어느 날 시아버지와 남편이 밖으로 나갔습니다. 집에는 새 며느리와 시어머니밖에 없었습니다. 그러자 새 며느리가 밧줄과 휘초리를 듣고 시어머니한테 갔습니다. 시어머니는 깜짝 놀라 물었습니다. 이 못된 고사 그 것들은 왜 듣고 왔어? 예, 어머님 버릇을 고쳐 드리려고요. 새 며느리가 얼굴색 한번 바꾸지 않고 생글생글 있으며 시어머니를 밧줄로 기둥에 꽁꽁 묶었습니다. 그러고는 휘철이 든 손에 짐을 딱 뱉었습니다. 시어머니는 갑자기 생각도 못한 일을 당해서 말도 한 말이 못하고 묵혀 있었습니다. 어머님이 미워서 이러는 게 아니라 버릇을 고쳐 드리려고 이러는 것입니다. 저를 미워하지 마세요. 새 며느리가 말했습니다. 그러더니 휘초리로 시어머니를 사정 없이 때렸습니다. 시어머니는 아이였고 분하고 원통해서 아무 말도 하지 못했습니다. 새 며느리는 한참 그렇게 시어머니를 데리고 나서 다시 생글 웃으며 말했습니다. 오늘은 여기저기 하겠습니다. 하지만 어머님이 버릇을 못 고치시면 또 때릴 수밖에 없어요. 새 며느리는 시어머니를 기둥에서 불어주고 시어머니가 화내기 전에 잽싸게 숨었습니다. 시어머니는 화는 나는데 화를 낼 곳이 없어서 만바로 문 밖에 나가 동네 사람들이 들어라고 그렇게 소리를 질렀습니다. 아이고 동네 사람들 내 말 좀 들어보세요. 우리 집 새 며느리가 날 휘초리로 때렸어요. 하지만 동네 사람들은 아무도 시어머니의 말을 믿지 않았습니다. 시어머니는 며느리를 괴롭힘으로 유명하고 새 며느리는 얌전하고 착하기로 유명했기 때문입니다. 그래서 모두들 시어머니가 또 며느리를 괴롭히다고 완전히 미쳐 버린 것 같다고 수근거렸습니다. 이렇게 동네에서 동네 사람들이 아무도 자기 말을 믿지 않으니까 시어머니는 또 화가 나서 남편을 찾아가 대성통곡을 했습니다. 아이고 영감 며느리가 날 휘초리로 때렸어요. 아이고 아빠. 하지만 시어버지도 시어머니의 말을 믿지 않았습니다. 저 할머니 이제는 완전히 미쳐 버렸군. 새 며느리가 새 며느리가 당신을 때리라니 그거 말이라고 해. 그렇죠. 시어머니가 이번에는 아들을 찾아가 대성통곡을 했습니다. 얘야, 내 부인이 휘초리로 날 때렸단다. 아들도 그 말을 믿지 않았습니다. 아이고, 어머니, 거짓말을 하려면 좀 그럴 듯한 거짓말을 했어요. 시어머니는 아이 없고 분하고 원통해서 속이 새까맣게 탔습니다. 저녁이 돼서 시아버지와 남편이 들어오니까 새 며느리는 언제 시어머니를 때려냐는 듯이 얌전해져서 시어머니가 욕을 해도 예, 잘못했습니다. 라고 하면서 시어머니가 때리면 맞고 혼내면 혼났습니다. 그럴수록 시어머니는 또 화가 났습니다. Wow, thank you so much for paying attention to this. All right, let's read this. This story is about a mean mother-in-law and a wise daughter-in-law. Once upon a time, it's called The Taming of the Mother-in-Law. Once upon a time, there was a very bad mother-in-law. To show the measure of how bad her personality was, if the mother-in-law did not torment her daughter-in-law for even one day, others thought, she's behaving strangely today. She harassed her daughter-in-law for no reason at all. If her daughter-in-law was walking fast, then the mother-in-law became angry that she walked fast. If her daughter-in-law was walking slowly, then the mother-in-law became angry that she walked slowly. If her daughter-in-law cooked a lot of rice, then the mother-in-law would say, who could eat all of this rice? But if her daughter-in-law cooked just enough rice, then the mother-in-law would comment, how can all the family members get full on such a small amount of rice? You know, anywho. Thus, even though the house had only one son, over time it has seen 3 different daughters-in-law. Wow. The first daughter-in-law was sent home to her family because she farted in front of her mother-in-law. The second daughter-in-law was sent home to her family because she overturned the table while carrying it. Since there was nothing to get angry about with the third daughter-in-law, she sent her back to her family with the pretext that she had a foul mouth. After having driven out this last daughter-in-law, there was no one who wanted to marry her son, even though he was very handsome and the household was rich. Despite this history, one unmarried woman in the town decided to marry the son. Naturally, her parents tried to stop her. No one who's married into this family has stayed more than 3 months. Do you still want to marry the man? Even though the man is handsome and rich, that's not everything. The woman listened to her parents and answered with a smile, I have an idea, don't worry. Though her parents were very worried about her, they trusted her and let her marry the man. By this time, the man's mother-in-law was bored because she had no daughter-in-law to torment, after having sent the third daughter-in-law away. So when the new daughter-in-law arrived, it was just what she had been waiting for. However, that's like, the way they write this is like an evil spirit. However, the new daughter-in-law always did exactly as her mother-in-law told her to do, without any change of countenance. Even when her mother-in-law scolded her over something ridiculous, she would just say, yes, I was wrong. And when her mother-in-law hit her, she accepted it, just like she accepted the scolding. Her father-in-law, found this all difficult to watch. Sweetheart, doesn't your mother-in-law make your life too difficult? Why don't you just go back to your parents? Said the father-in-law worriedly. The daughter-in-law answered, smiling, "It was only my dear mother telling me what I did wrong. Am I okay? No, I am okay. It was only my dear mother telling me what I did wrong. I am okay." This conversation occurred out in the open where everyone could hear her. The whole village praised her, saying that there could be no other daughter in law who was as decent and kind as her. Then one day, her husband and father in law went out, leaving only her and her mother in law at home. She went to her mother in law holding a rope and a cane. Surprised, the mother in law asked, "You bad girl, why did you bring those?" "Why, to correct your bad habits." She tied her mother in law tightly to a pole using the rope without changing countenance. Then she spat on the hand of holding the cane. The mother in law had allowed herself to be tied up without saying a word because it was all so unexpected. "This is not because I hate you, but because I am trying to correct your habits. Please do not hate me," she said. She then beat her mother in law severely with the cane. Dumbfounded, vexed, and resentful, the mother in law was rendered speechless. The new daughter in law beat her mother in law for a long time and then said with a smile, "That's it for today, but if you don't correct your habits, I'll have no choice but to beat you again." She released her mother in law from the pole and quickly ran away from her mother in law. Oh, she quickly ran away before her mother in law could lash out in anger. The mother in law was furious, but there was no one to release her anger on. So she went outside in her bare feet and shouted loudly so that all the people in the village could hear, "Oh, neighbors, listen to me. My new daughter in law beat me with a cane." However, no one in the village believed her words because she was famous for tormenting her daughters in law, and her new daughter in law was well known as decent and kind. Instead, everyone whispered that the mother in law had gone completely crazy while tormenting her daughter in law. Since no one in the village believed her, she became even more furious, going to her husband and wailing loudly, "Oh dear, my daughter in law beat me with a cane. How it hurts." However, he did not believe her either. "Tisk, tisk, that old woman is now going completely crazy. Your new daughter hit you? Is that really what you're saying?" Then she went to her son and wailed loudly, "Sweetheart, your wife beat me with a cane." Her son did not believe her words either. "Oh, Mom, if you want to lie, say something plausible." Because she was dumbfounded, vexed, and resentful, the mother in law ate herself up inside. That's how they wrote that. That writing doesn't make any sense. When the father, it ate her up inside. Because she was dumbfounded, vexed, and resentful, the mother in law, anyway, when the father in law and the husband came back home that night, the new daughter in law acted as kind as usual, as if she had not hit her mother in law. And even when her mother in law said bad things to her, she just answered, "Yes, I was wrong." And when her mother in law hit her, she allowed it, just as she accepted her scoldings. This made the mother in law even more furious still. The next day, as soon as her father in law and husband went to work, she tied her mother in law tightly to a pole with a rope and beat her with a cane again. "Because you haven't yet corrected your habits, there is no choice but to beat you again." Once again, her mother in law was beaten with a cane by her daughter in law and talked about this news to the whole village, but no one believed her words. The next day, right after her father in law and husband went to work, she came to her mother in law again, holding the rope and cane. At this point, her mother in law burst into tears and said, I did wrong, I won't do it again, so stop." Then her new daughter-in-law cried and apologized for beating her. From then on, she observed her filial duties to her mother-in-law, and the whole family lived happily ever after. Nonsense. Nonsense. This whole entire dang thing is nonsense. Nonsense. I do not condone violence. This is nonsense. Anywho. All right. I'm not going to read the cultural note. We all have our own cultural things we've grown up with. And honestly, the story's not too far from what I grew up with. So, we're not all so different. All right. I didn't beat anybody. Just the nonsense. All right. I love you. Oh, I said I love you. Well, you know what I mean. Have a good day. Night, evening, whatever it may be. Bye. One more day. Monday's my last day. And although, like, I don't know, you guys, sometimes I feel like my pronunciation is really on point, and then sometimes I feel like I just go off. But, I did it. I've done it. I'm doing it, and I will finish it. All right. See you Monday. Yeah. Annyeong. Annyeong keseyo. Kasayo. I said it wrong. Annyeong kasayo. Dopayo. I'll see you on Monday. Bye.